Today we're talking about single parenting, particularly during the holidays, which, as many of you have experienced, can be pretty complicated. Before we dive into that though, please take a quick moment to subscribe to LilyTube. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications of all our great new content each week. Our sponsor for this week's video is Canyon Foot and Ankle, who provides services that encompass all aspects of foot and ankle care, from simple nail care to advanced trauma and reconstructive care. Treat your feet to the exceptional care they deserve.
As a single parent, if you share custody, then holidays require the cooperation of both parents.
If you're divorced, could you spend Christmas morning or other significant holidays together? It sounds ludicrous, but we know some couples that do that because it's easier for their kids. What if you're in different states? Chances are you're alternating years. So what are you going to do in that year when you don't have your kids? I know, especially the first time I was in that situation, it was so lonely. And I had people, well-meaning people, telling me, almost pushing me to go to somebody else's Christmas celebration with their family, which didn't really feel right. I mean, they were welcoming and kind, but if I had that to do over again, I'd just go skiing or stay home and watch Christmas movies and call my children that night.
And it's possible there might be single parents out there that they don't get such invitations, so aren't you lucky you had options?
Right, and that's the other thing. You know, we have our kids, well, Cathy's kids this year, but we didn't have them last year for Thanksgiving. We went to my brother's house, but my brother invites a lot of extended family, and I didn't feel like the third wheel or the party crasher in that situation. It was a nice day.
It just feels different without the kids, that's all.
Right. We also had a situation with Christmas a couple of years ago where we went to a really nice hotel, we used the spa and the pool, and we ate the tremendous Christmas breakfast that they prepare there. And we had such a good time. We opened our gifts under the Christmas trees down in the hotel lobby. And you know what? It wasn't a traditional Christmas, but it was great.
And if you're a single parent in a relationship, you can do something romantic with your dating partner if your children are gone. And if you're single and not in a relationship, there's some things you could do with friends that you could not do at any other time. You could travel. I mean, there's all sorts of options.
Another possibility that you could do in conjunction with any of these ideas, you know, no one says that there's no law against celebrating Christmas on another day besides December 25th. You could choose a day either before or closely following Christmas, and you could celebrate that with your kids on a year when it's the other parent's turn. And in point of fact, we've done that.
Mm-hmm. And I know that my kid's dad has Christmas as soon as they get home. They worked it out so their custody exchanges are the same. And so when her children come home and when his children come home, that's when they do Christmas.
Right.
And it works well for them.
Right. And we've got to sort of learn to think outside the box in dealing with these sort of non-traditional blended family dynamics and, you know, really give our kids the sense that there's something special about this time of year and that they're a part of that.
And I don't know about you, but as a single parent, I learned how to be a flexible person. And that's a great quality.
Right. The year when you don't have your children can be a difficult time, a lonely time.
Or it could be like party time.
Right. You could get together with friends. You could socialize. And even if you aren't up to it, maybe you're newly divorced or widowed, and you don't feel like celebrating, you could make your own plans. Go out and pick up some Chinese takeout. Sit in front of the TV and watch Christmas movies. I mean, there are umpteen possibilities to help you commemorate the holiday, whether or not you want to be with other people.
Well, and you mentioned of divorcees and widows, and those who are widowed would likely have their children all the time. There's also single parents who are divorced, they're not widowed, but the other parent isn't involved.
Right.
So what happens when you have your kids every second? How do you get secretive about presents and stuff? I mean, there's a little challenge there, right?
Right. What if you're a little financially strapped? You're a single mom that's never worked outside the home, or you're a single dad who's gone through significant financial reverses in the wake of divorce. I mean, there's any number of possibilities where Christmas, if you let it, could become a huge burden on your family. And that, I suggest, is not in the spirit of the holiday. Help your kids to understand and be grateful for what they do get.
Yes, that is a very important point. And really, I think a huge part of Christmas is teaching our children how to be grateful for what they receive, no matter how big or small. By modeling that with the way we treat our own blessings, are we thankful for what we receive, however great or small? I think that's something we can model for our kids. Now, if any of these scenarios that we've mentioned so far have made you reflect on your own life and your own experience, we'd love to hear in the comments what has come to mind.
What have you done to celebrate Christmas on the off years when you don't have your children? What have you done with your children on those years to still have a Christmas experience with them? We'd love to hear your thoughts and comments and your ideas.
And if it's okay here, I'd like to actually share a personal thought that I had in preparing for this video. Lately, Jeff has noticed that I don't like decorating for Christmas. Like, I actually really kind of despise it.
She is Ebenezer Scrooge.
I kind of am when it comes to decorating, and I don't know why. Now, if it just happened by itself, if it just magically appeared in the home, I would love it. But it's so freaking much work. And I think that it's just dawning on me, Jeff, that the reason why I don't like it is because when I was a single mom, I had to do all by myself.
Right.
And I did every year.
Right.
I felt it was a traditional obligation. I didn't want to have it not happen, and it was all on me. And it was too much. It was just too much some years. So, moral of the story, don't wear yourself out on Christmas if you're a single parent. Dwindle it down to the bare necessities and whatever you consider to be the most important, and let the rest go. It's not worth ruining all Christmases forevermore. and of course, it's my work to do to overcome that trauma, but it is something that could have an effect down the road if we overdo our Christmases when it's just us providing that for all of our kids.
Another suggestion is to create rituals and traditions that you repeat each year in order to give your kids that sense of family and that sense of celebrating the holidays together. That could be a particular concert that comes up every year that you attend. It could be going and seeing the lights on Temple Square. It could be anything. But creating rituals will make the Christmas experience more meaningful, not only to your kids, but to you as well.
And not to contradict what I just said, make sure that whatever rituals and traditions you create to give your children a sense of consistency and a sense of family, make them things that you really do enjoy doing and what you know you can handle reasonably.
Right. We'd like to pose the question now to our single parent viewers. How do you survive the holidays? How do you make them more joyful and less stressful? We'd love to hear your ideas and comments on this video. For rocking the single parenting groove during the holidays, we take our hats off to you. Remember that no matter your marital status, any time is a great time to create more love in your life, especially at Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and thank you for listening.